Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about All India Radio Houston here on KCHN 1050 AM. I am Dr. Nick Nickham. If you'd like to join in the conversation, the number to call here is 281-745-4161. Dr. Sabah Khan, again, okay, let's continue with our discussion. And we were talking about arthritis. Let's talk about osteoarthritis. Sure. What causes osteoarthritis?
So osteoarthritis, which is the most common kind of arthritis worldwide. The other name for osteoarthritis is hypertrophic osteoarthritis because it causes hypertrophy of the joints.
Yeah.
So this is a disease that progresses with age. This is very, very age related.
I see. Yeah.
There is some genetic preponderance to it. Women usually have it, and again, obese women or obese people can develop it.
Is obesity a prerequisite for developing osteoarthritis, or can it happen in even people who are not obese?
Yeah, it can happen even in people that are not obese. As I said, it's also an age-related disease. So some people that are not obese do develop it, since it's a wear and tear disease.
So because I had a lady, who is in her 50s, and she's not obese at all, and she had this, and she had to have a replacement, and I was really surprised. I said, how did you get this? She said her mother had, and it was like a family history.
As I said, that definitely it does run in the families, and it's genetic related too. Especially there's a kind of osteoarthritis which is called erosive osteoarthritis, which acts more like rheumatoid arthritis. That's more genetic, and then it's again more common in postmenopausal women.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to All India Radio Houston 1050 KCHN. If you'd like to join in the conversation, the number to call here is 281-745-4161. We are talking about arthritis. My special guest is Dr. Sabah Khan. And okay, what causes this joint disease? Like rheumatoid, you talked about autoimmune disease, antibodies and all. So what causes the destruction of the joint in osteoarthritis?
Okay. So as I said, this is in layman terms called a wear and tear disease. So there are two kinds, two major kinds of osteoarthritis. One is idiopathic, which happens for no reason.
I see, yeah.
And the other one is secondary osteoarthritis, which can develop as a result of trauma, repetitive activities, sports, injuries, obesity, or secondary arthritis as a result of rheumatoid arthritis.
I see, yeah. So are all these football players prone for osteoarthritis?
Injury, as I said, repeated trauma to a joint can cause osteoarthritis.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to 1050 KCHN, and we are talking about arthritis. My special guest is Dr. Sabah Khan. Let's give out your contact information, before we proceed with how we diagnose and treat patients with osteoarthritis.
We are in Sugar Land Methodist Hospital, Professional, building number 3. Our office suite is 530. We are on the 5th floor. The physical address is 16605 Southwest Freeway, Suite 530, Sugar Land 77479. Our office phone number is 832-999-4694, and our website is Dr. Sabah Khan. mydrkhan.com. You can also get information about our practice through the website called patientfusion.com, and if you put Sabah Khan in there in the search, you'll be able to find all the information about our practice.
Fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to 1050 KCHN. I'm Dr. Nick Nickham, your host. Okay, let's talk about somebody walks in with a joint pain. They don't know what's causing this or what is happening. So how do you diagnose and come to a conclusion, well, okay, this is osteoarthritis, and how do you approach in terms of doing tests and treatment?
Okay. So as I said, in any disorder, a good history and physical examination is the key to lead to diagnosis. So a typical osteoarthritis patient would be an elderly person, obese or could be not obese, hurting in their joints. Again, the joints that are more commonly involved are the spine, the neck, the back, the hands, the knees, The less common joints that are involved in osteoarthritis are the ankles and the shoulders. Patients usually have pain after activity.
Yeah.
As opposed to rheumatoid arthritis, when patients start hurting more when they've been inactive for a while.
I see, yeah.
A typical osteoarthritis patient does not have joint swelling, should not have warm or red tender joints. Basically, that's about it. Activity versus the pain.
How do you differentiate between rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis when a 50, 60-year-old person comes with joint pain?
As I said, good history and physical examination. On physical examination, rheumatoid arthritis patient would have soft and boggy swelling, while while an osteoarthritis patient would have hard, non-tender nodes on their knuckles. And then X-rays are very specific. We can easily detect or differentiate between rheumatoid versus osteoarthritis at looking at the X-rays. There are no blood tests or autoantibodies to diagnose osteoarthritis because, as I said, it's not an autoimmune disorder.
Does a MRI or something show different characteristics in a patient with osteoarthritis?
Definitely. Imagings are very different. The studies are very different when you compare a rheumatoid arthritis patient to osteoarthritis, and you can figure out by looking just an X-ray whether it is rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis.
Oh, okay. So, so when do you do X-ray, CAT scan or an MRI in patients with osteoarthritis or any arthritis?
In osteoarthritis, we don't do any MRIs or CAT scans. Just looking at the joint or looking at the X-ray is good enough to figure out if this is osteoarthritis. While in some cases of rheumatoid arthritis, when the history is typical, it's a typical picture of rheumatoid arthritis, but there's some confusion, then an MRI may help to detect early changes which an X-ray might miss in the beginning.
I see, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to All India Radio Houston. I am Dr. Nick Nickham. If you'd like to join in the conversation, the number to call here is 281-745-4161. My special guest is Dr. Sabaa Khan. She is a rheumatologist and she specializes in diseases of the joints or arthritis. Okay, how do you treat these patients and what is the prognosis of patients with rheumatoid arthritis?
So, rheumatoid arthritis.
I'm sorry, osteoarthritis.
Osteoarthritis. So, patient education is very important in osteoarthritis. Weight management, exercises, muscle strengthening exercises, range of motion exercises. This is the non-pharmacological treatment, basically, and these are very important. When it comes to medications, of course, there's no cure for osteoarthritis, but you can minimize the symptoms through medications. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications are the first that we use, combined with some acetaminophen. There are some gels that the patients can apply, like Voltaren gel.
Yes.
Physical therapy is very important when it comes to osteoarthritis. Diet, exercise, and weight management.
So, in the initial phases, you told us it is a wear and tear. So, there's damage or destruction of the bone surfaces.
Yeah.
So, if two rough bone surfaces are rubbing against each other, just medical treatment may not cure it.
Yeah, very true. After these medications, there are options, joint injections. There are steroid injections. There are injections called Synvisc, which is like basically a lubricant to lubricate the joint.
I see, yeah.
And then especially knee osteoarthritis, it has grades, grade 1, 2, 3, and 4. Grade 4, when we talk about grade 4, that's bone to bone, means that the bone is hitting against the bone, and so there's literally no cartilage. And then medications or physical therapy doesn't help. At that stage, we refer our patients to ortho for a joint replacement. And I tell my female patients especially, the sooner that if they need surgery, the sooner they get, the better it is, because the chances of rehabilitation are better if you are relatively younger.
I see.
With grade 4 osteoarthritis.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to All India Radio Houston. I am Dr. Nick Nickham, and we are talking about arthritis, and my special guest is Dr. Sabaa Khan, and she is a specialist in rheumatology. She practices here in Sugar Land. If you'd like to join in the conversation, the number to call here is 281-745-4161. This is KCHN, Houston 1050, Houston, Texas. Let's give out your contact information one more time, and then we'll proceed with wrapping up rheumatoid, the osteoarthritis.
Sure, again. So my name is Sabah Khan. I'm a board certified rheumatologist. I practice in Sugar Land in Methodist Sugar Land Hospital, building number 3. My office address is 16605 Southwest Freeway, Suite 530, Texas 77479. Our office phone number is 832-999-4694. Our website is mydrkhan.com, and you can get a lot of information about our practice through patientfusion.com.
Okay, so we are talking about osteoarthritis, which is seen in the older population, and it's related to destruction of the joint surfaces and all this. Okay, so is there any like rheumatoid arthritis? Can you try stronger drugs to alleviate the symptoms?
Yes, those stronger drugs are called biologics in layman terms.
Yeah.
So depending on how a patient presents to you, like I have a 16-year-old boy and an 81-year-old.
Oh, really?
That I've started from the beginning on those
Yeah.
biologic medications. Those are very strong medications. They work wonderfully. They literally stop the disease from progressing on a microscopic level. But I choose those medications, or I would say I reserve those medications when I know that the arthritis is going to be very aggressive.
So this is a slowly progressive disease, or it just shows up, and maybe in 6 months you're going to need something drastic?
So it varies again from person to person. As I said,
Yeah.
if the patient has bad prognostic factors, as I said, bad genes, or a very high rheumatoid factor, less functional ability, then of course it's going to progress very fast if they are not treated. In some patients, it starts in a milder form and stays mild and can be controlled with other medications like methotrexate, and they might not need to be on biologic therapy.
Okay, let's talk about surgical treatment. I know you don't do surgery, but you evaluate all these patients before they go for surgery, and I also do a lot of cardiac evaluation before they go for joint replacement and all this.
Okay.
What kind of test do you do? First of all, how do you already told us a little bit about how you determine who needs joint replacement, and what kind of test do you do, and how does the joint replacement help?
So, the most common patients that are the kind of joint arthritis that I refer my patients is for knee replacement.
I see, yeah.
That's the most common kind of osteoarthritis that I see. As I said, it depends upon the lifestyle of the patient. How much is the arthritis affecting the patient's day-to-day life? How miserable are they with their pain on a day-to-day life? How aggressive is their arthritis? If it is already something called bone-to-bone, meaning grade 4 knee osteoarthritis, then I recommend joint surgery no matter how old the patient is, because the sooner they get the surgery, the better the chances of rehab. Also, weight reduction is very important. If they lose weight, then also helps a great deal through the rehabilitation process.
Okay, Dr. Sabah Khan, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and
nice
maybe we need to have you come back and talk about lupus and temporal arthritis and a few other common conditions that we encounter in daily practice. Thank you very much, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.